So I thought I would make one of these sort of updates. I used to do them weekly or bi-weekly. I haven't done one in probably a month now or so. And yeah, a lot of stuff has been going on, so I think it's time for another one. As you can see, I just got home from skiing. I am in a beautiful hotel in the French Alps and have been really enjoying a little bit of time off during the holidays. I think I managed to do maybe 3 whole days of not working more or less at all, except for being on Instagram and stuff like that. And yeah, I really, really needed that, to be honest. For if you've followed me here and sort of watched the last couple of videos, I had a pretty rough time with my laptop being broken for almost a month. So just short version, it broke when I was in Costa Rica from water damage. So don't go with your MacBook to Costa Rica, I guess, during rain season. And yeah, I just didn't really have a backup. I was lucky to have really good friends who lent me their laptops from time to time, so I could like manage the most crucial things, and then I did the rest from my phone. Um, but basically, it broke there. I didn't really have time to leave it for repair, and also the guy in Costa Rica couldn't do it. So then I went back to New York for a few days, and I didn't have time there either. And then I went back home to Portugal, and I left it to a repair place, and that took like 2 weeks. So yeah, it was, yeah, I think over a month I was without a laptop. And I actually spoke with a much more experienced and successful entrepreneur than me a few weeks ago, and I told him about what happened and how stressful it's been to catch up in these last few weeks since I got home. Basically, throughout all of December has just been a game of catching up on all of the things. And he actually said that he has like 2 or 3 brand new MacBooks throughout, like in different places in his house with a screen connected to each, so that he can all and they're connected to the cloud, or that like they sync to the cloud, so he can always just like start working from any computer, and he just likes to be in different places in his house to work. Obviously, this is like a super like only possible if you're somewhat successful and have money to do that. But basically, the point was that something like this would not be as traumatic for him, because even if he would not have a backup computer on his trip, he would at least be able to go back and start working normally when he got back home. For me, it took an extra 2 weeks. So it's a good lesson to like actually, I think in general with digital stuff, most of us are much less prepared for something like this than we want to admit, maybe. So yeah, it's a good reminder to like actually start preparing and have some backup systems in place so that this stuff does not impact you that much. Um, but yeah, that part of that, like that was maybe the main thing that made December pretty stressful for me. And I think right before Christmas, I sort of finally um, managed to. I started to feel like, oh, I now have. It was the first day that I didn't feel like I had that I didn't have enough time in the day, basically. So I kind of finally caught up, and yeah, that's kind of why I needed to take some time off over Christmas and stuff, and obviously also nice to hang out with family. Maybe like if you followed me here, you might be wondering about the pre-orders, because I think last video I ended with, basically saying that the big question mark still in this new business is like, will people like the product? Because I've only had, close friends and like mentors and stuff test it before. Quite a few people, probably like 15 people at least, did try it before. And so I was quite confident, but now I've heard like yeah, there's probably 200 people now that has the product, and all in all, like it's overwhelmingly positive. Like definitely, the taste is the main thing. Like there seems to be something about, because of the fact that there are organs in the blend. There seems to be like maybe 5 to 10% of all people, especially those who are not like very ancestral, like into ancestral health and stuff like that. There seems to be like 5 to 10% of those who like really struggle with the flavor, and so I've had like 2 or 3 people asking for a refund just because they can't do the flavor. Um, but other than that, like I've had so many people just like basically saying they will be a customer for life and that this is the best thing they've ever tried. Um, so I think, with a product like this, you can only make improvements to the flavor. You can never satisfy everyone. And I definitely have ideas from the feedback that we've gotten from all the pre-orders. Um, but mostly like, yeah, it's been so positive. Like it's. I would say that is not an issue anymore. I would say that this idea, this business is fully validated. I just need to start growing it now, which I already have. Um, Actually, it's like, yeah, we're at a pretty decent recurring revenue right now. Not that many people, uh, probably only like 5 or 6 people canceled their subscription from the early birds, like the pre-orders, and we've had a bunch. Like I've done some sneaky ads, sort of. While like I only got a few hundred bags at first, and so I've been waiting for the full inventory to arrive and everything. So I've been keeping it pretty low key, but I've still ran some ads. That's definitely a positive ROAS, and a lot of people go for the subscription. So it's like already a kind of a viable business. And then in 8 days from now, I have the official public launch, and I'm crossing my fingers because, like, you never know with other people. Even, I've met and talked to like so many, like influencers, I guess you would call them, and also a lot of them were already my friends and in my network. So like you never know how many of the things that you've been discussing will actually come to fruition. But assuming that most of them will, uh, I'm in a very, very good position, I would say, to really crush the launch as well. And so, yeah, I kind of still can't believe that this is real, to be honest. Because if I'm being completely honest, I've been searching for this idea for over 10 years, for this whole everything that's happening in my life right now. It's like kind of, it feels like I'm becoming who I am, if I'm being honest. So it's incredible. Um, if you're doing something like this yourself, I would say, if you saw the other videos from the US, like my little pre-launch tour or whatever, um, I will say that was so worth it to do. I think that you should never underestimate the power of meeting people in person. Um, I used to not think about that too much, especially now with the internet. You can just like connect with anyone, but it's such a big difference when you've met in person, and you trust each other much more. It feels less transactional, and you can just, yeah. A lot of the things that happened during my trip were also not planned. It just kind of one thing led to another. Um, and so yeah, it's actually incredible. I had someone that I've been trying to reach on Instagram for a long time finally responded. I was like giving up hope. And they finally responded saying that this is the greatest product they've ever seen, basically. And they did a shout out recently. And I did like over 10 or over $1,000 in sales right after that story, and they're gonna do a wholesale, like they run a like an e-commerce store for these types of products, so they will be ordering wholesale as well. And after that, I had a bunch of like big accounts reach out that I would otherwise um, have had to like hunt and like try to reach in different ways, and now it just happens. It just inbound instead. So yeah, it's just like I feel like the product and me and my idea is like getting accepted by the right in the right circles. Um, so yeah, I couldn't ask for anything better than this. Honestly, it's exceeded all expectations so far, I would say. Yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. I have I'll end with one like very cool positive thing, and then one negative thing, and I'll start with the negative one. There's a brand out there that's using my logo, and I'm pretty sure that they're ripping customers off completely. They're called Try Omni Co. Or like tryomni.co, and my website is tryomni1.com. And they just stole my logo and like changed the last letter, and then they make these like AI video ads to basically trick like older women basically into taking creatine, which is their product. But I don't think they are actually selling a product. I think they're just grabbing people's money and not sending product. So I had a meeting with my lawyers, and we'll try to. I reached out to them, and they actually answered, which was very surprising to me because I just thought that they were complete criminals, which I still think they are. But they did reply saying that they would get back to me with a substantial answer in before January 8th. So like that's a big issue, honestly, that I don't want to think about too much because there's not necessarily that much to do, except for for suing them, which I fully intend to do. It's just a matter of when, because it's going to be very expensive, and hopefully they will take this seriously and stop using my logo before then. But yeah, that's one of those things that you don't really think about, you don't anticipate, and it's stressful and it sucks, honestly, that they are doing that. But I feel like all in all, I have a pretty good. I'm taking it pretty well and just like focusing on what I can control, instead of these fucking assholes. If I'm being like, if I can be, if I can use that language. So that sucked. The positive thing is that I don't know if you've seen I just did my full product shoots. I now have actual product images for the real OMNI1 bag. And I also got a shipment to Sweden with the real, a couple of bags with the real product. And honestly, it's one of those things, the actual branding, like the packaging design, it's one of those things where sort of 1+1 = 3. Like we worked hard on it. I think we did really good work, me and my design agency, but I could not have planned for like how well it turned out. Honestly, it's I'm serious when I say it's the best packaging in the market today. Um, and so I'm so happy about that, especially being so like passionate about design and stuff. And I also think it's really important when you have a product like this that's so special. To me, at least, I view it as a very, very special product that has a huge potential. And when you have something like that, it's very important that you also have everything surrounding it needs to be on the same level. So I'm beyond grateful and happy that it turned out that well, and we'll actually submit it to this like packaging design award thing. So I'll keep you updated if we win any prizes with it, but I don't really care. I think it's the best packaging in the market today. So you can go check it out on our website. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next video.